Okay, so you got another article for us,
Yes,
so
I do.
let's get to it.
Okay, also from Entrepreneur Magazine, it's the war against jargon. And over 30 some years working with entrepreneurs, one of the things that I'm constantly trying to get them to understand is the reason that that maybe their new employees don't get it, especially fresh out of college, and also their customers aren't getting it, is unlike Larry who gets it, right?
Yep.
Is that they're using acronyms, they're using words that people, like deer with headlights, right? And this is becoming even bigger. This article really focused on the fact that, we're in the world of pitching our business to investors now. That's a hot thing, with Shark Tank and everything else. And universities are realizing that they need to train business students and future entrepreneurs on how to talk more simplistically and not use all this jargon or use all these words that make them sound really impressive, and they're just making everybody like, what? What are you talking about? And so, I was actually when at meeting with an international attorney. And sometimes the jargon can just be, cliches that we use, for instance, and phrases that we use. And she specializes with German companies, bringing them over into the United States. And they were talking about one of the cases that she's working on, and she said to him, he asked, how's it going? And she says, oh, it's going to be a home run. And he goes, what? And of course, we all know he had no idea what that meant. He had no idea what that meant. And she said, so sports jargon that we use in the name of business, with some international, like baseball's an American sport, right? But even stuff like slam dunk, she's used that too. And that also brought the deer with the headlights on.
One of the things I have learned to do with my clients is just simply stop them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I do that
means.
too. Yeah.
And so many people are afraid to do that. But honestly, it really does build credibility for you to say, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I don't understand that. And what it really does, in my case, it allows them to acknowledge, I'm trying to understand, right? You know what I mean? And I'm listening.
Right.
And I didn't get what you just said, right?
Right.
And I'll give you a story that was just kind of funny to me. I had a good friend of mine that spent, I don't know, $150,000, $200,000 for his son to go to college, to Elon College, this great private college, learn business, And so I thought I'd help him. And so I let him come into the office as an intern. And this is a guy that's a sharp guy, got his college degree in business administration, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, listen, would you do me a favor and pull up that P&L for me and send that over to my client? And he said, excuse me? I said, pull a P&L up and go ahead and send it to the client. And he fumbled around for about 20 minutes.
What's a P&L?
I said, hey, man, come on. And he said, and his face was really red. He said, I'm sorry, I don't know what a P&L is.
Wow, yeah.
And I said, you don't know what a profit and loss statement is? And he said, oh, in business school, we call that an income statement. I said, in small business, we call it profit and loss
that's what it is.
Could be profit, could be loss.
That's exactly right.
And so it really is something he could have saved 20 minutes if he'd have just said, man, I don't know what a P&L is.
Well, I've got to really, we're on the P acronyms here, so I got to share this one. I was working with a client, and the Pantone color matching system that's used in the graphic industry, its acronym is PMS. and I'm working with a male client, and I said, well, we have to look into what the PMS colors, and he got very uncomfortable with that because he was thinking, of course, the other PMS, right? And it was hilarious. I mean, he was like, PMS, are you sure that's what it's called? He goes, what do you mean by that? And I go, Pantone matching system for the colors. And he was like, oh, okay. And he was much more comfortable after that. But again, perfect example of, the acronyms are just as bad as word jargon stuff.
Well, in my world, acronyms don't work. I mean, if you want to say return on investment, say return on investment.
Exactly.
They want to hear that, right?
Right. It emphasizes a lot better, doesn't
That's absolutely correct. There's a reason why you really want to be completely detailed. And in my case, because I'm dealing with buyers and sellers, they don't know each other. So you don't want to make an assumption on those things. So it happens a lot because, I deal with so many different industries that I am very comfortable saying, I don't know what that means.
Right.
I'm okay with that. But it's taken me some time to get there because at first I used to think they're going to think I'm a dum-dum,
Well,
and I don't need to give another excuse,
Well, I think honestly the greatest sign of a going back to that authenticity we were talking about, is showing a little vulnerability, showing that, you really don't know everything. Honestly, that builds such trust.
Yes.
Because you can be an expert, but you're not an expert in everything.
Right.
And especially with what both you and I do, we're dealing with so many different industries, which makes it so much fun and love it, right? But we can't possibly know everything.
Right.
But what we do know is how to look at it in a different way than they do and help them see things that they're not seeing. And I think that's the beauty of it.
Well, and it's what makes us so good at what we do is we're comfortable knowing we don't know everything about every single industry.
Right.
I can't run your industry, right? I can't run your business. And so if you'll give me a little help on what the heck you're talking about, I might be able to apply what I do for you.